Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm not going to talk about any kind of health or business related stuff in this video, but it has been a hell of a week from, you know, a week ago, this past Sunday, to now, Sunday. So much has happened. I've just had so many personal breakthroughs, with family and personally, that have just made me move with so much more purpose, alignment, and just flow and love in my business and impact. And I just want to share those personal wins with you guys. The channel is, yes, for health, it's for value, it's for all these things, but it's also to inspire, to motivate, to share my story in hopes that it impacts you, it adds value to you, it adds a perspective, it inspires you in some way. So yeah, if that sounds anything interesting at all, let's jump in and let's chop it up, and let me tell you a little bit about what's been happening with me this past week. So pretty much 1 week ago today, we had a family meeting at my house here. So I have three siblings. I have one brother and two sisters. They're all at least 13 or 14 years older than me, so quite a bit of distance between. But we had a family meeting, that happened a week ago from today, and it was just about my dad. If you don't know, I know I shared on IG, maybe not here. My father had a stroke on July 1st. Really just did feel like I got blindsided by a truck. But I recovered fast. Not meaning like my dad's recovering well, but I just recovered fast as I did feel like it was a lot and it did put me down. Um, Very emotionally distraught. I thought I was gonna really loosen at one point. But he's doing better now. And yeah, we just had this family meeting to kind of talk about that, but it really kind of spiraled into and turned into everybody just expressing feelings that were held within for 25 years plus. My feelings my mother had, my dad had, my siblings had. It kind of turned out to be a mess in the beginning, but at the end, we move forward, and we let the past go. We learned from it. We talked about it, and I just felt like my siblings have always been so lost, and I felt like my youngest sibling, one of my sisters, I kind of grew up with her, even though there's about 13 years between us. I felt like at one point she had abandoned me. And that was in the moment. But, now looking back, her life started to begin. She got engaged. She was having, kids a few years later. I have two beautiful nephews. Um, and yeah, it was just a lot, but it was a massive breakthrough. I felt like I have my siblings back. They're in my corner. I feel like I have them back on my team. And obviously, as an entrepreneur, this journey is lonely, as it will be, because as Hormozy will say, if you want to be exceptional, you are the path of the exception. But knowing that before I blow up, before the business really scales, and my life really dramatically changes and shifts, um, it just really feels good to have them back, have them in my corner, and know that the past is behind us. We learned from it, we've grown from it, and just move forward. And I really thought I would never have them back like that. Whether I was just too afraid to confront things, or I just felt like they didn't care. Why should I care? Or X, Y, Z, and all that stuff. It just feels really, really good to have them back. So if there's somebody that you love or that you have turmoil with, take that time, express those feelings, help them create that space for them to where they can express how they feel. Worst comes to worst, maybe you're vulnerable, maybe they betray your trust and that tells you everything you need to know. Or maybe your relationship flourishes and now it's stronger than it's ever been before. And you get back a friend, you get back a loved one, whatever it may be. Take that leap, put in that work, because who knows what can lead. And also this past week, actually on Monday, so the day after all that stuff happened with my siblings, so actually yesterday, my uncle Tony was in town, who lives out in Nevada, over in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to really have much of a relationship with him, purely just because one, he lives out there, and two, when he's come back, it's either for a big event, a funeral, God forbid, or a wedding, and he is just he's a very wise, brilliant man. There's so much to learn from him. He's a sponge. You won't really hear him talk much, but he's very, 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 very smart, extremely intelligent, and he's the kind of guy that will kill you with his silence. And he also, spent a lot of time in the military, in the Air Force. Did some very, very classified things. Made an impact that allows people like me and you to have our freedom. If you're here in the U.S. And unfortunately, I just haven't really had, much of a relationship with him, just due to kind of the distance and, obviously the gap in time. And really, more or less, it was just awesome to see him. I was able to really build a relationship with him. I was spending more time with him than I kind of was on the business, which is why I kind of haven't posted in the last few days. And it just felt really good to just understand more about him and our origins as a family. He came over on the boat from Italy to Ellis Island in New York, and, it's been onwards from there. just, tell him more about my business and learn more about his story and his life. He was always kind of like that cautious, really trying to mitigate downside and be safe about things while maximizing upside. Like I said, he's brilliant. So he helped kind of give me some more business perspectives. We just had those moments of joy. Where again, it was just that uncle, it was that nephew kind of vibe. And, unfortunately, he has two beautiful children. He has a daughter, he also has a son. But unfortunately, his son is autistic to the point where, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a career, he's not going to school, he can't feed himself, he can't really bathe himself. So he has to do that, especially as he's nearing retirement over almost 70 years old. Him and his wife really have to tend to their son, which is draining, and he can't have those experiences, with the son like that. And I felt like I was able to kind of give him some of those son father moments, even though he's my uncle, where there was just, kind of talking and joking, having fun, or, a little shove, and then looking back and just laughing, just really having a good time, making the best of it, and just again learning more about each other, building that relationship, cultivating it, nurturing. That was something I always aspired to have, and it's being built now. And as I become more financially free and I can go see him and he can come back more as he gets closer to retirement, I just cannot wait to keep continuing building that relationship. And if you know me, you know that my biggest three core values are people, experiences, health, and the value you can provide. And obviously, as people as number one on that list, it was just awesome to build more of that relationship with him and with my siblings, get my siblings back, have them in my corner, and just move forward, be happier, be more fulfilled, be more aligned, just make me feel so much more even better than I already was about the impact the business is having, the value it's providing, the people we're helping, the mission that we're on. And I just feel extremely, extremely grateful. And it's October 5th, and we're in Q4, so I'm just so excited to crush it, to finish this year strong. If you know or if you don't know, Q4 and Q1 are the biggest months for the info and the coaching space. And I just can't wait to impact more lives, change more lives, just continue scaling, make more money, help out and provide for my family more as they've been doing for 22 years. And I'm just excited. I'm grateful. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I'm fitter than I've ever been. My relationships are so much more fulfilling, and I have everybody in my life that I really want. I'm just attracting things left and right, people, experiences, memories, things, clients. It just is magical. It's beautiful, and those are just some personal ones that I'm having, and I just wanted to share those with you guys. So I'm just hoping I'm sending good energy, good vibes, um, and that's my message to you. Live your life, reflect on the past, extract those lessons, plan for the future, make sure those thoughts that you have are positive as those will manifest in real life and putting the work and volume behind it. But ultimately be present here in the moment because this is all we truly have. Do what you do for value, do what you do for impact. Um, and as Hormozy would say, I think the real gift in life is not what you achieve or what you earn, but who you become in that process. And that's the real magic that life has to offer. So if you stuck through this long, I really, really genuinely appreciate you. Um, and I love you too. So drop a comment if you made it this far. Let's crush it this year. Let's absolutely finish Q4 as strong as possible and allow that to be the on ramp to crushing and having an even better 2026, my friend. So appreciate you for sticking around. As I say, I love you and catch you in the next video. Peace.